Welcome everyone to the Tio and Tito podcast. I'm Tito.
And I'm Theo.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. New Year.
Happy News Year.
Yeah,
Happy.
Happy New Year. Yeah, man, Happy
How
New
was it?
Year. 2023. It's insane.
We made it.
We made
We
it.
made it. It's day 4 of 2023, and I can't believe it's been 4 days already into the new year.
I know. It's insane. How was your New Year's? What'd you do?
Oh, it was super chill, man. You know, we had Desiree over, so that was cool. Um, but
Oh yeah.
honestly, we were like all in bed, or Desiree was on the couch, and Angel and I were in bed by like 10:30.
For those that don't know, Desiree is a really close friend of ours. She's one of my girls' godmother. She's Leo's best friend here, and Isaiah's
Isaiah's
godmother too.
godson. Or
Isaiah, yeah, we said
Isaiah's
the same thing.
she's guys.
She's Isaiah's godson.
Yeah. Anyway, shout
But
out
yeah,
Desiree.
super close, super
Um,
close.
yeah, so yeah, we were all in bed. I don't even remember doing a whole lot that day, but you know, I think we were all awake until 12 a.m. and so we all said Happy New Year through text
That was it.
when we were just like across the room. Um, but yeah, no, it was super laid back. Nothing too crazy. How about you guys?
Yeah, ours was a little crazier. A
What?
really close friend of ours that we've known for years now, she got married on New Year's Eve.
That's right.
So the wedding turned into a New Year's party. It was actually a really smart idea. Yeah, it was actually really cool. Um, and yeah, so we had the wedding to go to. We took all the kids to that. That was a mess. The wedding itself.
Oh, the
'Cause-
kids went too?
yeah, because I mean, going to like church in the first place is kind of like nerve-wracking when you're with kids just because you don't want them to interrupt. But when it's a wedding, it's like 10 times worse because you're like, I don't want my girl to cry like during the vows or something. Like you're just
Mm.
like, oh man. And I knew Maria's super chill. Like I knew she'd be cool with it. She's not like a bridezilla or anything. And her new husband Wayne, he's really cool also. So shout out to Maria and Wayne. Congratulations. But
Yeah,
yeah, I knew they
congratulations.
wouldn't mind. And of course Toby, as soon as we get there, wants to sit like super close to the front. We're like, no, let's sit a little further back. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking. We had my dad there though, so it was okay to kind of grab the girls and go outside for moments here and there. But that was New Year's Eve. I got to cook some New Year's Eve steaks for the fam, and then we had the wedding party after, and that was really fun too.
Oh,
Yeah,
so there's like a little intermission in between.
yeah. They go take their pictures and stuff, but
Cool.
so I told Lily to go with my sister to the wedding, while I stayed back and put the kids down with my dad. So we didn't want to take them to the party. So uh,
Okay.
once
Okay.
once all the kids were asleep, then I showed up a little later to the party. But it's New Year's Eve, so it goes on forever anyway.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it was pretty fun. We actually left a little bit before midnight to just go with Toby's uh grandparents, so or godparents, Toby's godparents, his his ninang, and it was really fun. We just went there. We hadn't spent much time with them, so we got to just uh do New Year's just with them, that family, and like we love them, super close to them, obviously, if they're my compadres. So it was super fun, and we got to just do the actual like New Year's with them, and yeah, it was a good time.
Cool, man. That's
Yeah.
really good.
But man, getting
Uh,
getting to LA in the first place, it's always a struggle. Going from San Diego to LA isn't that bad, but whenever we go visit my parents, having to pack everything and plan everything so far ahead.
well,
Yeah.
that's a perfect segue into today's topic,
Yep.
brought to you by Eric's AI. What do you
Yeah,
use,
man.
by the way?
I just used Chat GPT. I'm like, hey, what should we talk
Okay.
about on a podcast about
Yeah.
two dads and families? And it was
Yep.
like, oh, talk about traveling with your kids. I was like, oh, that's a loaded topic. So much to talk about there.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to go ahead
Yeah.
and kick us off? What's on the top of your mind?
I've done so much travel with the kids at this point. because I mean, with Toby right away, we wanted to get him used to being on a plane, the traveling and stuff. So
Mm.
we actually took him. Maybe he was like 7 or 8 months old when we took him to Mexico for the first time. That was actually pretty good because it's a short flight from TJ, right? We just drove to TJ and go from TJ to Guadalajara, short like 2.5 hour flight. So he did really well on that. And on the way back, I actually flew back alone with him. Lily had to come back for work stuff, and I had to. Oh, I was nervous about that one, flying alone with him, but we figured it out. And he's at that age, he was such a ham. So all the like flight attendants were like, oh, he's so cute. Oh, can I hold him? And they legit asked if they could just hold him while I took a nap. Like, so
Well, really?
yeah, man. So he made it easy on the way back. Uh, but now traveling with 3 kids, that's just a lot. Just a lot. We haven't traveled on a plane yet with all 3 of them. So we're
Mm.
still just, if we go on a plane, we just travel with Toby for now. We just go to wherever it may be. We've been to Portland, obviously Costa Rica. That was a long flight, but luckily he's at the age where he can just be on his tablet for 6 hours. But with the girls, I think the biggest trip we've done with them is up to Big Bear. Actually, not too long ago, we talked about it on the last podcast. We
Mm.
did a trip from San Diego to Big Bear. Well, should have been like a hour and a half, 2 hour drive. Ended up being a lot longer because of the stops we had to make, and the girls just crying here and there, and literally we're like driving up the mountain. And at one point, we're like, we need to pull over like as soon as we
Oh
can, just to
man.
get out, just so Iris would stop crying. And yeah, like it's it's nerve wracking just because you're worried about them. You obviously they're uncomfortable for sitting that long, and they don't even know where they're going. Toby's at the age where he understands. Okay, we're going somewhere. He's at the age now where he keeps asking, "Are we there yet? Are we there
Yep.
yet?" I was like, "We just got on the freeway. What do you mean, are we there yet?" But the girls don't know, so it sucks sometimes. Just hearing them like struggle in the back, and yeah. Best case scenario is they sleep the majority of the strips, but that's
Hmm.
not always the case. Have you guys done a lot of traveling with Isaiah?
I wouldn't say a whole lot. Our longest drive, we haven't been on a plane yet. Our
Mm-hmm.
longest drive with Isaiah was to Vegas, which was 5 hours, but I think our trips ended up being like 6.5 hours with the stops that we had to make for gas and uh, to feed Isaiah. And also, I had a pregnant woman in the car with me, so she needed her bathroom breaks too. um,
Let's be honest.
but
Angel needed bathroom breaks before she was pregnant.
well, she needs it more.
Yeah, 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 a lot more. That's
And
funny.
so with that, Isaiah isn't a big car sleeper. He'll knock out for like
Oh,
30 minutes and that's it, 30, 45 minutes. And so his wake windows when we were driving were all jacked up.
yeah.
But he did pretty well for not for having lack of sleep
Hmm.
um during those drives. I will say Miss Rachel saved our lives, I think.
Shout out Miss Rachel for reals.
Yeah. Isaiah loves Miss Rachel, so we hooked the tablet, the iPhone on the car seat. And he just watched that for the majority of the trip, and he was content. He was happy. Um, there were some times where he struggled because we actually did want him to get some sleep. So,
Yeah,
we would throw a blanket over, turn on the sound machine. Um and we would get lucky again if he would sleep for 30, 45 minutes, but I feel like it was no more than that much time. But
yeah,
overall, I think it was a good trip with Isaiah. A
yeah,
good first long drive, good first experience. We're still hesitant about flying. I think in, in terms of Vegas, it for those who really know me, I hate driving. Um, but I ended up, I think for me it was more worth it to do the drive than deal with the hassle of flying on a plane and bringing all his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how much stuff he needs, just because we've traveled. We've had an overnighter just close by Carlsbad, which is uh 30 minutes, 40 minutes north of where I'm at. Um, and just the stuff we've had to pack him just for one, or maybe it was 2 nights. Nevertheless, 1 or 2 nights. It was like twice the normal luggage than we normally pack. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's
I remember first seeing like the luggage that Angel packed, and I'm like, "What are you bringing? Like, why do you have so much luggage?"
yeah,
And she told me this is just Isaiah's stuff. I'm like, how can a little man with such little clothes, pack and need so much?
yeah,
Um, and so just imagining having to haul that all into a plane, or check it all in is, I sucked it up and dealt with the drive,
yeah.
and it was worth it. It was pretty good.
Planes aren't that bad. When we traveled with Toby, we actually took his car seat with us so he can sit in his car seat on the plane. And we
Okay.
bought this really cool backpack that it just covers the entire car seat and you just put it on your back. And that was really neat because then we have all the rest of our luggage to deal with. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you need to remember to pack for the kids. I remember I had forgotten our Hawaii trip when
Yes.
Toby turned 1 and Desiree, it was Desiree's birthday too, and we decided to do it in Hawaii. But that was so much easier than the Mexico trip just because we had all of you guys there with us. He was the only kid. So
Yeah.
literally everyone just kind of took turns with him. But I do remember, I don't know if you remember this, the at one point I was watching Toby, but I'm on like my iPad watching a movie, and then I looked and he was at my feet, and I looked down and he's just gone. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know where he went." And then you just hear this little girl in front of me. She was maybe like 6 or 7. You just hear her crying to her dad. She's like, "Dad, Daddy, there's something under here," and it's just like Toby had crawled under the seat into the seat in front of him, and there's a boy there who like picked him up, and the dad's just laughing. He's just laughing at the whole situation because Toby had crawled under the seat in front of me in the plane into the next aisle, and Lily's just
Oh,
watching like terrified, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you let him do that." I'm like,
oh, this was on the plane.
yeah,
Okay,
it
yeah.
was
So we were
so.
there before you guys. So I
Oh,
don't
that's
remember
right.
that.
You
But
guys are there
but
first.
even then, I don't even remember you telling that story. That's so
Yeah,
funny.
it was. I felt so bad. But Toby was fine. He was just crawling around the plane, minding his own business.
Yeah, man, dude. Life was definitely so much easier. Or traveling, not life. Traveling was so much
Yeah,
easier without kids, or without your own kid. It
yeah,
was a lot. It was great having Toby, um,
hmm,
on the trip.
yeah,
Uh, but just now to have the now with your own kid, it's like, oh man. I think you just really have to just kind of do it one time, and kind of get a feel for it, and then I think you'll know right there and then if you're meant to like travel or fly with your kids.
yeah. I mean, you get used to it, and you learn little tricks along the way,
Sure.
right? Because I remember the first time we drove with all 3 kids from San Diego to LA to visit my parents, and it was like we have a truck, we have an F-150, and we filled up the whole bed of the truck with just stuff
Mm-hmm.
because we had to take packing plays, you had to take all the clothes, diapers, wipes, everything, right? And so it was filled all the way to the top, and not including a stroller. So it was insane the amount of stuff we had to take, and even my mom was just like, she apologized and she's like, I didn't realize how hard it was to come visit us. I was like, yeah, that's why you need to come visit us. But I told her I was completely honest with her, like straight up, if you want us to visit more often, you're gonna have to buy some of this stuff to have here.
Mm,
Like you're gonna have to keep a pack and play here, like a bed for Toby, a couple of things, and she did. She started buying some of those things that are just gonna be at her house now, and it makes it a lot easier to travel just like on a whim, like 2 days before. Like, hey, we're not doing anything this weekend. Let's go visit the abuelitos, right? And one trick that we've learned is instead of traveling with diapers and wipes and all that, you actually just order them on Amazon and have them shipped there, so they're there when we get there,
yeah.
right? And there's like certain things that you can buy, purchase at a time, and just leave there. So if you're traveling to the with family and gonna go visit, definitely just don't travel with diapers and wipes. It's unnecessary. You can do it to like other countries too. Like you can have stuff delivered to hotels if you really wanted to. Like they'll accept and they'll hold it for you. So yeah, I think it's definitely important to keep that one in mind. But yeah, it's hard to account for all the things that you're gonna need when you travel with family.
Oh my,
We have this whole
the,
list,
yeah.
a notes that we have that we just keep updating as the kids get older. But yeah, we have like a Toby list, my list for the girls, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there that you really don't think of before, but you definitely need to take with you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very familiar with that list. And it's gotten to the point where even if we like go to the grocery store, I tell Angel like, man, we need a little list, a checklist just for the diaper bag, to make sure that we're stocked up on certain things, even for short trips like that. It's crazy. Um, it's not like make or break, like the trip is gonna be ruined or the it's gonna be, a challenge or difficult to have to navigate without the stuff, but it makes traveling with the right items easier.
Yeah, definitely keep a list, even if you're traveling just for yourself. I legit
Oh,
back when
absolutely.
back when I was a consultant, I I made the mistake of traveling and I forgot to pack pants. And that
How
was
do
just
you
for
forget?
myself. And I don't know how that happened. I just didn't pack pants. When I got there, luckily my friend was picking me up and he took me to like Ross or something to buy some clothes right away. But I was just like, I can't believe I forgot to pack pants. This is insane. Like I
I
realized it
should
on the plane on the way, and yeah, it's nuts. And then you start thinking, now I have to pack for myself and three other people, and it's like I'm gonna forget something. Like it's just gonna happen.
I shouldn't judge because for our other good friends, Raven and Khalil's wedding, I forgot they were getting married in Henderson,
Mhm.
and I forgot to pack my suit,
Oh no!
and I didn't bring any like other decent, nice clothes. If you know me, I like to dress like this,
Yeah.
tank and shorts, let
What'd you
alone
end up
have
wearing?
pants. So, fortunately, Angel's parents, I think they were visiting or they were just vacationing in Vegas, and they were going to drive out there. So they picked up my suit and they dropped it off to us, which
Oh,
was,
nice. You got lucky.
they came in clutch. Yeah, I was stressing like I'm gonna have to rent a suit for like in like a day's notice. It's gonna be stupid expensive. But no, Angel's parents came in clutch with that. So
Nice.
it's
That's
it's it's
that's
it's easy to forget those things.
yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things we've forgotten before, which is a big no-no, is I think we forgot the cable for the white noise. And
Oh,
we just
I
the way
can't
we've sleep trained our
bridge
children is specifically to use the white noise. And
Yeah.
and luckily I had my iPad and I downloaded like a 12-hour song of just white noise and just put my iPad in the room. But I was like, we had a little freak out moment there. We're like, oh my goodness, they're not gonna
The
sleep now
cable.
because you just gotten used to it. Like I feel like I've
Yeah.
gotten used to sleeping with the white noise now
Mm.
because I have the little like monitor and we can hear them at night and we hear the white noise through it. And recently I traveled for work and I kind of like missed the sound because I was in a hotel room by myself. I was like, oh, it's nice and quiet. And like 5, 10 minutes later, I'm like, all right, I think I need the white noise to fall asleep now. Like even you get accustomed to it. So yeah, that's definitely a must have. Do not forget the white noise machine.
The cable.
The cable, yes.
Oh man, yeah. No, we've definitely done that, and fortunately, you just look it up on Spotify, white noise playlist, and
Yeah.
there it is. But yeah, man, dude, I just reflect on the times that Angel and I have traveled prior to Isaiah, and I just think about having like replicating or redoing those trips now with Isaiah.
Oh
It's like,
man.
no, it's impossible. You know, Angel and I had the luxury of during doing a Europe trip back in I think it was 2017. Um, and we did 5 countries in 2 weeks. It's like nonstop movement. And just to think about doing that with Isaiah is it's like never gonna happen again. I feel like
Yeah, yeah. I
until he's much
remember.
older. Until he's much older, but
Yeah, me and Lily did a World Youth Day. We did it twice. So yeah, one time was Portugal and Spain. The other time we went to like Germany, Czech Republic, and all that. And it was so nice to do it just when we were together without any kids around. Because I don't know how we do it otherwise. And actually, our really close friends who were actually our padrinos at our wedding, for the second one, they actually took their son with him, and he was about I think about Toby's age at the time, and to the one where we were going to like Germany and Czech Republic. But the only way they would go is they brought their mom along.
okay.
They brought grandma along to specifically watch the kid because they're gonna be doing stuff, right? And she's like, "Sure, I'll go watch the kid." And I think that's the only way I would do something like that if my dad or my mom would agree to come along and help with the kids, because I couldn't imagine doing that right now with two 1 year olds and a 4 year old.
Jeez.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
man.
always tell we always tell like friends that are couples that have gotten married recently. They're like, yeah, if you want to have kids, great, like have kids, but spend some time for yourself and definitely travel now, because a lot of people think like, oh yeah, like we'll have kids, we'll still travel. Like, nah, it's not. It's not the same. Like, even if you do
yeah.
travel, you have to be back in your hotel by a certain time. You
Hmm.
have to like stick to a schedule,
Yep.
and it's even worse when you're traveling like with family that don't really understand that, and they're like trying to plan stuff like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this at 11 and this at 1, and me and Lily are over here like, when is our child gonna nap? Like,
Yeah.
we need to go back to the hotel at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like my birthday's coming up, and um it's been a while since Angel and I've been to Disneyland, so we were thinking of doing a Disneyland trip.
we're
But
going
we
to
were thinking
Disneyland.
the we're going to Disneyland. We're going to Disneyland. We were thinking of the logistics of Isaiah's like his schedule, right? He has a like an outline of when he naps, when he's awake. Um, it's not super strict, but there's certain guidelines that we want to follow because he's like your kids, he's sleep trained to sleep
Mm-hmm.
at certain times, and it's worked for us. So we want to be able to maintain that. But again, we were thinking the logistics of traveling and doing a Disney trip, and it's one, we have Isaiah, two, Angel's pregnant, and so it's like, man, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Not to like put like a bad light on it, but you know, if when I used to go to Disneyland, we were like nonstop moving, right? Or at least when this was before I had an annual pass. When
Mm-hmm.
you had to pay for a day ticket, you want to maximize that, right? You want to
Yeah.
get your money's worth, especially nowadays with ticket prices. Um, but yeah, it's still something we're thinking about. It's like we're weighing out pros and cons. On the bright side, it's Isaiah's first Disney trip, and again, it's not so much for him as it is for Angel and I to see him. Maybe ride the carousel, ride Dumbo. There are certain rides that he can ride, which would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
just like little things like that.
honestly though, I mean, taking a kid too young to one of those places, like you'll always see the parents coming in and like, oh yeah, we're bringing a 2 year old, and like 2 hours in, they're just yelling. The kid's just done. Like there's the long lines and everything. Like legit, like you're probably better off leaving Isaiah with like Angel's parents or your mom or something, and go enjoy him.
Mhm.
Leave him here. Leave him here with us. We have three kids, four, whatever.
Well, you guys are coming with me.
Oh, there you go. We'll stay in the hotel. But yeah, yeah, man. Like, I, Toby actually have a video of like the when I took Toby with me to Legoland, and he was
Hmm.
3, and I think that was the first time he actually like enjoyed a park. And but even then, like by 2 or 3 o'clock, you can tell he was annoyed and he was ready to go
Yeah.
home. And luckily, it was just him and me, so it was easy. Just all right, let's go. And we've taken him to Universal Studios a couple times, so I think he's at the age now where he's having fun with that stuff. But man, anything before 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 3 years old, that's rough. Anything before
Yeah.
3, like I don't know if they'll be able to enjoy anything past like 2 hours. But like you said,
Yeah.
especially people that are like super into Disneyland, which a lot of people our age are, and I've never understood it, but whatever. But I'm sure they want to take their kids and they want to like build up that like fandom, right? They want their kids to enjoy the same things they do, but it's not gonna happen for a while.
Right.
I
Yeah, no,
think
for sure.
I think now if I were to take Toby to Disneyland or to the was it the Star Wars thing, like he
Hmm.
understands Star Wars now. He knows what a lightsaber is. He has fun with those movies, so he'd probably have fun there, or even like with the superheroes. But even then, I think he would just be there for a little while and be ready to go home like halfway through the day.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, too, I think a lot of it has to do with, again, you kind of mentioned the fandom, and I talked about how it's been a while, and
Yeah,
um, you know, Avengers Campus opened up in California Adventure, and um, you know, fortunately, I got to see it, before Isaiah was here. But to see it um, again, I feel like it's it's mostly for me than it is for Isaiah. But you know, uh, same with Universal Studios, right? They're coming up like a Nintendo World or whatever.
yeah, so excited for
And
that.
exact, yeah. So it's like, man, I really want to go see it. Um, but is it worth it? It's for me. It's like it's uh, kind of weighing out. Going now versus waiting just a couple more years until Isaiah's at age, or our upcoming son is at age,
Yep.
for them to actually be able to enjoy it. And so I guess, you know, I just got to be patient. Is what I'm trying to tell myself.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you would still have fun, and you never know. Maybe Isaiah will just fall asleep in a stroller, and you can do your
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah. I will
yeah,
say,
that'd be fun.
I was going to say, Angel's dad got us, or Angel's dad got Angel a zoo annual pass. Thanks, Dad. And so we went to the zoo last month with Isaiah, and that was pretty cool. I mean, because it's annual pass, there's less stress on you to feel like you need to stay,
Exactly.
the full hours. So you can be there for 2 3 hours and call it a day. And you know, as long as you go a certain X amount of times throughout the year and you make your money's worth, then it's all good.
Yeah.
But for Isaiah, it was cool because he's watching and seeing animals on the different shows he watches, and for him to kind of see that in real life. Maybe he doesn't quite understand that, that's what he sees on TV, but, you know, uh, starting to see him react to the animals, an animal would make a noise and he would immediately turn, right, and kind of look at what was going on. Like seeing those kind of reactions, is what I'm looking forward to as he gets older.
Yeah. One of our one of our first like outings as a family post like pandemic, because the girls were born right during the pandemic.
Mhm.
So like shortly after, when we had time, we went to the zoo. That was one of the first places we went, and luckily we were really close to the was it the safari park, wild animal park,
Yeah.
whatever it's
Yeah.
called now,
Yeah.
and we were able to go like half the day and come back because we also had the pass. And yeah, the some of those passes, they're so worth it when you have kids, because you can go and kill time for like less time they're just at home watching TV or on a tablet or something. And
Mhm.
yeah, something like the zoo, they have so much fun with it. And so Toby had fun. The girls didn't know what was happening, but they're getting fresh air. They're walking around the zoo, like it's all in good fun. So that definitely helps, and it helps that we were that close. But yeah, doing a longer trip, I don't know if I'd be able to do that like further out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we're very fortunate to live in San Diego and be next to two different zoo parks,
Yeah.
next to SeaWorld, Legoland, so many different options. Even non-amusement parks, just the different attractions that we can take our kids to. It's wild.
Yep. But yeah. With that said, I was gonna spin this up on you. Um, but we had talked about possibly doing a list of go-to items that you
Oh
definitely
no.
need while traveling with kids. We don't have to do a draft just because I'm actually not that prepared. But do you have any like top of mind things that definitely you cannot forget when you're traveling with kids or with family?
Oh
or maybe
man,
things that people just don't think of sometimes.
you know, it's it's kind of for me my first one, and it sounds so bad, but just from experience, you know, of your phone or a tablet. I would say a tablet, so your phone doesn't, doesn't drain as quick. So a tablet, but uh, having preloaded videos that are installed or that are downloaded to the device so that you don't have to rely on a
Mm,
network connection to stream your videos. And so
yeah.
that's what we did. I just took, 5 of Miss Rachel's videos, put them on Angel's iPad, and now we can stream them wherever, right?
Hmm.
And that's been such a huge help, when Isaiah starts to act up. Our immediate reaction is not to go to the iPad, but when we know he's getting fussy, we know, putting on Miss Rachel will calm him down.
Yeah.
So, that's my first item.
Yeah. That's a good one. I was gonna bring up something similar. So I actually went from an iPad to Nintendo DS with Toby, and he's been obsessed with my old 3DS that I used to have, and it has like a bunch of games on it. And I we gave it to him for Christmas, around Christmas time. We're like, here, like you can play this DS now. It's a really cool gift. Actually, it wasn't for Christmas. It was before that. I gave it to him before the Costa Rica trip, so it was around Thanksgiving. And we're like, hey, we have a gift for you. Like we want you to play this. And he had already started kind of playing video games with me, like especially the Nintendo, the Mario games, Sonic games. So I had the DS. I had a bunch of old games, and they actually sell a cartridge now that's like 500 games in one. So I bought that, and I gave that to him, and he loves that thing. And it's funny because it's like so much older, but he doesn't know, right? Like I probably could have
Right.
given him a Game Boy, and he would have been just as happy. But he just I would prefer he play games sometimes than to just mindlessly watch videos on the iPad. And because some of those games, a lot of the games you can put on there are like
Educational.
educational games, or even just like some of those Mario games, or like if he's playing Zelda or something, you really got to think about it.
Oh
Some
yeah, the strategic.
yeah, sometimes I forget that he can't read, because he's just legit playing through the games and like hitting the right buttons and moving along. And I see like there's prompts right on the screen, and he'll be like Papi,
Just
I'm
button
stuck.
mashing.
Yeah, he's like, Papi, I'm stuck. Like I don't know what to do here. I'm like, it says right there. Oh wait, you can't read that. Here, let me do it for you. But it's funny how he'll just play through the games, and you'll hear him get frustrated at times if he's losing a game, like a fighting game or something. But
Mm,
I think I like it. I like it better than just giving him an iPad, because obviously I'm into video games. I love playing video games. I play with him. Um, and half the time on his iPad anyway, he's watching other people play games. He's watching like people play Mario Party or people play Minecraft. And I'm like, I think it's funny because even us as adults do that, right? That's what Twitch is. Like
right.
people just go on and watch streamers stream games. But I remember seeing my nephew do that when he was younger. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. He's just watching other people play games, which I literally, while I'm working, I have Twitch on in the background all the time. And now Toby's like into it. But yeah, he'll randomly be like, "Oh yeah, I was watching this guy on Minecraft and he did this," and then he just shows me right here because I work right here at my desk and the TV's right next to me. So Toby, when he stays home, sometimes he'll play Minecraft next to me and he'll just be excited and show me stuff, and he's like blowing up a house that he just built. I'm like, this is actually pretty cool. I didn't know you could do these things. But yeah, he's
Oh,
uh yeah, so if you have some sort of like games or something that they can play something tactical, I would definitely for long trips, that's a game changer, pun intended.
yeah. That's helpful to know. I have a DS kind of in tucked away, so I'll have that ready for
I
Isaiah
legit
when
had
he's
not
of age.
I legit had not played that DS in years. I got it in college. So it's like maybe like 9 years ago. Or longer. It's like 10 years ago. I just got
Yeah,
it forever.
DS. Can
Yeah.
you imagine a DS 9 years ago? Sorry, off topic. The DS 9 years ago. Oh
Yeah.
yes, dude.
Yeah, I got it a while ago, and I got it just because I was gonna start traveling for work right out of college.
Mm,
I was a consultant, so I'm like, I need something to do on the plane, so I would literally just play these games. So, and when we first opened it, I was like, I really hope this works, because so we plugged it in, charged it, and it worked like a charm. So, yeah, good stuff there.
it's awesome. Um, my next one, my next item, are snacks. You know,
Snack for
Isaiah
you.
is yes. Isaiah
Do you guys
is
share
getting paid.
snacks with Isaiah, or do you take your own separate snacks?
I'm not so much packing snacks for myself or Angel as much as we are for Isaiah.
Yeah,
You know, if anything, I'll try Isaiah snacks just out of curiosity, just because they have some bomb ass flavors, and they
yeah.
taste pretty good too.
I know,
But
dude. Like I had never had these before having kids, but the like puffs, like peanut puffs,
yes,
they literally just taste like peanuts. They don't even taste like
bombas.
peanut butter. They're just, I mean, they're so savory and so good. And if you look at the ingredients, it's legit just like peanuts. I'm like, this is
Yeah,
amazing. It's such a good snack.
yeah. And so Isaiah is getting to an age where he's eating solids. And, Angel and I and friends, we like to go out and eat. That's one of our ways to enjoy company. Um, but wherever we go out, we can't always guarantee that the food that's there, Isaiah is gonna be able to eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he sees food, when he sees us eating, he wants some.
He
He
wants
doesn't
to
care what
eat.
it is.
Yeah.
He wants to grab. He'll open his mouth. Feed me kind of a thing. Um, so we need to have snacks ready.
Yep.
But this boy can kill snacks like no other. He'll eat forever. Um, I think early on you're told to keep feeding your baby until and if they spit up, then maybe that's when it's like too much, right? Or they'll let you know.
Yeah.
With Isaiah, with milk, he pushes the bottle away when he's full, but with solid snacks, he'll keep going on forever. And he gets pissed when he's done. He finishes snacks, or you're not giving any more. Um, and we know we went too far one time when uh we just kept giving him because we were like, okay, maybe he's still hungry. Maybe it's not enough. This is early on into us giving him snacks. He legit, I would say it's more than spit up, but less than full on throw up. It was when we were trying to put him down, straight up just like vomits in his
Yeah.
crib, and we're like, well, that might have been too much.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know it yet, but we know there's a stopping point, even though he's gonna
Yep.
continue asking us. But we know, snacks for him. Uh, Even when we're not eating out. Earlier we just went out to a Target trip, and um, giving him a snack, he was content in the cart.
Yep. I think
So
going anywhere, just have a couple snacks in there, in the bag.
yep.
It's good. Uh, I remember with Toby, it isn't related to snacks, but uh, more related to overeating. He's super good. If anything, it's really hard for us to get him to eat sometimes, right? And
Oh.
and we want him to have a healthy relationship with food. So if he's having dinner and he says I'm done, we'd let him be done. It's like, okay, you can leave the table, and we remind him like we're gonna take away your plate. Even now he still fights it later on. He's like, I want my plate back. I'm like, no, you said you were done. Like there's a reason. And usually he says he wants to eat more because he doesn't want to go to bed, even though he just
Mm.
had some food. But he I remember at the party for Desiree a couple months back, she had like a nacho bar. And Toby loves nachos. And I don't blame him. But he had access to the nachos, and I told him, yeah, you can serve yourself nachos. And he would serve himself chips, meat, and cheese, and that's it. That's what he would eat. I did not realize how many times he served himself nachos. So near the end of the day, he was saying like his tummy was hurting. I was like, oh, maybe he ate a little too much. He went to the bathroom. He was fine, and then it was already his bedtime, so I just took him home. And he was complaining in the car that his tummy hurt. I was like, oh, okay, he probably overate. But as soon as we get into the house, as soon as we walk in, it was just like projectile. And that was the first time I had ever seen him like throw up. And it was like, yep, he ate way too much, and it just got everywhere. Like, but it was right at the front door, so it was easy to clean and everything. And I picked him up, put him straight in the shower, and it was funny because I know it sucks, but it was funny because right after he was like, "Oh, Poppy, I feel better." I was like, "Yeah, you probably do." But yeah, he's just like rinsing off in the shower, then he's having a good time. But yeah, even then, like if it's something they really like, they might overdo it. I don't. He hasn't overdone it since though, and we've had
Yeah.
nachos again since then, and he hasn't. He understands he has a limit now. But yeah, it's crazy. Um, but yeah, having snacks that's a big one. What's your favorite snack that Isaiah eats?
Oh man. I would say my current one are the little blueberry rice puffs, the little stars, like little cereal
Yeah,
puffs. Oh man, I get why he can go on forever. They're so
right.
small and
You
you
just want to
just
like
pop
grab the
them.
thing and just eat them all.
Yeah. I just want to. Oh my, the blueberry one. They smell so good and they taste just as good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this, where he's not quite at a point yet where he can kind of just grab himself. We still kind of have to hand it to him or put like scatter the pieces of
Mm-hmm.
cereal across his his what is this, his high chair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'll just stick his whole hand and kind of just grab a fistful and just like shove it
Just
in his
shove his
mouth. I'm
mouth.
like, whoa, dude, like you slow
Yeah.
down, man. But yeah, I would say that and the bombas, the little peanut
Yep.
puffs that you're talking
That's
about.
what they call bombas. Yeah. Those are great. The girls have gotten into veggie sticks, the veggie chips lately. So
Oh,
we've been eating a lot of those. And those are surprisingly good, and if you leave the bag open, you just keep eating them. And I was like, I
yeah.
need to stop eating these. Like, they're around the house because we'll serve it like on a plate and make the girl share sometimes. Toby will eat them, but I'll just like be eating them off the plate, and then I realize I ate all of their snack, and I have to get him more.
Isaiah had his first veggie chip not too long ago, and yeah, he was down.
Yep. Uh, yeah, that's a good one. Definitely travel with snacks. Uh, a big one for me traveling, and I know I mentioned purchasing this ahead, but you can never have too many wipes.
Oh, for real.
Just you don't realize how much you use wipes because when you're in your house, obviously you have a box of wipes and you just kind of casually use them. But especially on a trip, like if you're gone for a week, you'd be like, oh, like 3 bags of wipes, that should be enough. And then halfway through the week, you realize, man, I need more wipes. Like, because you
Yep.
use them for everything, right? And especially if you're using them for your kids, like, and doing it properly. I think the proper way is use one wipe per wipe, and um, then you go through those bags super fast.
Yeah, man. Our diaper bag, we have two compartments for wipes. Angel's day-to-day bag, she has a compartment for wipes. So we're always at least traveling with 3 packs of wipes. But
Yep.
if you look around the apartment, like there's one. I'm counting the stations right now. One, two, three. There's like in each room. There's like 2 packs of wipes in each corner of the apartment. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. You
Our dogs use the wipes too when we wipe their feet when they
Oh
go out.
yeah,
So
it's great. It's great when
yeah.
when they get like stuff on their feet, and yeah, you slowly start realizing that you start using the wipes.
Yep.
Like we had barbecue ribs the other day, and instead of getting napkins, like I'm just gonna grab a wipe. That's what they're for. But yeah, wipes, man, all the wipes. Um, one thing we've been traveling with too, and this is actually a really smart purchase that Lily made. She Toby has now like started kind of sleeping in a bed. We actually changed his crib into like a full on toddler bed now. But when he was first transitioning and we were going to my parents' house, they only had two pack in place, so that'd be for the girls. So what we
Mm.
did, we converted like a little cot into a bed for him. And the reason we thought about this is because it was his first time sleeping in the cot, and of course, like 20 minutes into bedtime, he fell off the cot because he's
Oh, dang
he's
it.
he's used to like the sides, right? Luckily, my mom had put like the like foam like flooring around there for the kids to play
Okay.
during the day. So he fell onto that, but he was just like terrified. We're like,
Ow.
okay, okay, let's you can sleep over here with us tonight. But what she buys is this like really cool like inflatable. It almost looks like a floaty, but you put it under the bed, under the sheet of the bed, so it creates like
Okay.
a wall for him, so he can't fall over. And he comes with two, so you can put one on each
Uh,
side. So so even for like babies that aren't like crawling yet, like as long as you're like in the vicinity, like that's actually pretty useful to just have that and keep them in one place. So yeah, that one's really cool, and we used it. We used it a lot when we travel, just because sometimes you're traveling somewhere and you don't know there's gonna be a bed there that you can use,
Yep.
right? So especially for toddlers, that was a really good find, and he feels very comfortable in that. Like when we went to Big Bear, for example, he was able to sleep in a queen size bed he had to himself. We put the little floaty things under, so he was able to sleep through the night fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the little things, man, that you don't think about that you actually need.
Yeah, I was gonna say my next one was is obviously uh clothes for the baby or your little one, because you never know when they're gonna have an accident. But I I learned real quick that you can never pack too many clothes for yourself or for the parents.
Was that
You
was
know,
Isaiah a spitter? Spat up a lot.
he is a spitter.
Yeah.
Um and he did have like a blowout.
Oh yeah,
I think it was
blowouts.
it was yeah, it was I think it was Thanksgiving. It wasn't a terrible blowout, but it was enough for it to see through his clothes and get on my shirt, unfortunately. So there it didn't like it kind of like moistened my shirt. Um but
Gross.
it wasn't like terrible enough for it to like I had to like completely change out. Like I just, folded up my sleeves and whatever. But, just, thinking about, you know,
Wait, you left the
your
poop
kids
on your
spending
shirt?
it wasn't actual poop. It was just like the scent of poop. But I'm just
So
saying
you
in
smelled like
general,
poop.
my arm smelled like poop, and it
So
was
there was
fine. It was
probably
my
poop
son's
on it.
poop.
You should have changed
There
your
was
shit.
not poop on. Oh, whatever. I didn't pack clothes, so that's I didn't I didn't pack an extra shirt for me, which
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't
know.
regret.
I I don't know how many times I love Angel, but how many times my kids have had a blowout while she's holding them. Like legit, whenever you guys were over with both with Toby and with the girls when they were little,
Yeah,
it would just be like randomly Angel's like, Eric, Lily, can I have a shirt? I was like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, we know exactly what happened. And it would just happen all the
yeah.
time. No, it was to her. I don't think it
Yep.
happened to you, right? Like maybe once or
Nope.
twice. No, not at all.
Never. Never. Not with your kids. No. No.
It
The
would
running
happen
joke
to
was.
Angel more than it would happen to us.
Yep.
That was the
Yep.
crazy part. They
The
just,
running joke was if you need your kids to use the bathroom, let Angel hold them.
yep, man.
Poor girl.
Yeah. So I'm sure she learned to keep extra clothes around too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah. Other than that, man, I can't. Aside obviously from the diapers, even like toys, I don't even think. I think Isaiah's growing out of toys. Like that's really for at home play. He will bring
yeah.
toys when we travel, but he gets over it real quick. He'll last longer with a snack or with a Miss Rachel one. So,
Hmm.
is there anything else that you can think of?
No, obviously you have a list, right? Of all the stuff that you need
Yeah.
to bring with you, but I think those are like some of the more important ones. Where if I would forget, I'd be like, I don't know what we're gonna do, right? But yeah, it's just maybe some alcohol for yourself. Keep sane.
Oh shoot! Dang.
Yeah. But yeah, when I mean, when traveling with kids, God bless your heart for traveling, because it's not easy. And one thing I heard a streamer say, his name's Bearded Blevins. He's a really cool streamer. You haven't checked him out. He mentioned every time he travels, if he hears a baby, he buys the mom or dad a drink on the plane,
Oh,
and it's just like he wants to, he says thank you for traveling with your kids, because that's a big deal, right? Like not only is it a big deal for like the parent, but also like you're exposing your kid to new things, to new life, and it's a wonderful thing. So he always buys them a drink. So if you ever see a parent struggling out there while traveling, just think about that. Maybe buy them a drink, help them out a little bit. Right.
that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to when the kids are a little bit older and I think even older. Uh, I don't know, I would say older than Toby, but just old enough to like appreciate travel and to be able to go on family vacations
Yeah.
and have the trip be about everyone enjoying it, not just the parents enjoying it for themselves, right?
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that. So
Yeah, same here. I'm looking forward to road trips where they can entertain themselves for a change, but also like I think now that Toby's 4, he's at the age now where he's good on trips and he's excited about
yeah.
trips. So I think when the girls get to that age too, it'll be fun. And then we'll do some joint family trips.
Oh man,
Yeah,
go
but we're
go
going to
ham.
Disneyland, right? I need to go tell Lily. Lily.
Where do you think you're gonna take your kids on like on your first family trip?
Oh, all of us. I think I count Big Bear as our first family trip. It was a long drive.
Well, I mean, for a trip like for everyone to like appreciate and like know where they're going and have a
It'd
you
have
know
to be the family. It'd have to be either to Mexico, Guadalajara with my family, or back to Costa Rica, right?
that'd be
My
cool.
family's there. They haven't met the girls yet, so being able to take them with us, it'd be good. And I think that'll happen soon. Taking them for my family to me, but actually like a trip for everyone to enjoy. Obviously, it'll be a couple years, but
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to when maybe Toby can recommend where we go for a family trip, because I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
that kid
that'd be
will come
cool.
up with interesting ideas. But yeah, looking forward to it too.
Cool, man. Good stuff.
All right. That wraps up our episode for today. Thank you everyone for joining us, and let us know. Let us know in the comments if you think of any other items, must-haves that you cannot live without if you're traveling with family. Thanks
Yeah, man.
everyone.
Bye.
God bless.